Yo, people, welcome back to the fix. Quick fix, that is. It's your boy Nara here with B. No, it's just, well, that could apply for you too, I guess.
Wow.
Ari, in the building. It's time for quick fix for the people.
I don't know what you're looking for. Or you want salutations?
For people who aren't sure of what quick fix is, Ari, tell them what it is now.
All right, so from what I remember, Javi said, quick fix is a roundup of the news that we missed throughout the week. So let's get started.
Javi, I miss it.
All right, so I wonder what Shenseea was thinking. So music producer Johnny Wonder expressed his disappointment in Shenseea after the artist failed to acknowledge Skillibeng as the creator of Crocodile Teeth during her Hot 97 interview with Nessa. So Johnny Wonder was tagged in an Instagram post featuring a video clip from Shenseea's interview on the Nessa On-Air show. During the interview, the host asked Shenseea who picked the beat in reference to her freestyle with Funk Flex. She then replied, "It was me. I know that beat is going crazy and I love the beat." The host interjected, "Shout out to Nicki Minaj for sure." Shenseea then responded, Yeah, for sure, but there was no mention of Skilly. Following the Instagram post, Johnny Wonder left multiple comments ripping into Shenseea, saying she never thanked us, tired of her now. So, and at Shenseea, stay. Shouldn't have signed the waiver, but they begged me. Interscope begged us. She couldn't even ride the official rhythm. She had to use the lick over one from YouTube. Crocodile Teeth is the biggest independent song out there right now. No boy can license it. So, that was a lot. What do we make of this? Is this a much ado about nothing, or is there something here? Narrow.
I think it's somewhat much ado about nothing, but still something, and both can be true. I could see where people think that it's egregious for her to not mention Skillibeng when asked about how the rhythm for the freestyle came about. So even though the interviewer Nessa did bring up, say, oh, big up Nicki Minaj, that was a prime opportunity for you to big up Skillibeng as well. With that being said, it could just be say, oh, it slipped her mind in the moment, in the time, to mention Skillibeng, and she's just focused about promoting her, which people could see as being selfish. But yeah, I think all I go as much I do about. I don't think she went out of her way for this Skillibeng, but she having possibly a slip of the mind of not mentioning Skillibeng is egregious and could be seen as somewhat disrespectful. So I could see both sides of the story.
I agree with you, Nara, that I don't think that it was something that she was trying to intentionally slight Skillibeng and the team, Eastside team, for their work, but it is very egregious. Like, it's like, yes, a Jano star. Like, no, that's your opportunity to extend and wave the banner and say, like, yeah, you know, it's a dancehall artist. It's actually a dancehall song. And yeah, shout out to Nicki Minaj. But of course, you have to big up Skilly, because
it would have been easy for her to do it.
Yeah, you know. So again, we've all been there. Like, oh shit, like, you know, I remember something, and especially in the moment of an interview, you probably just not gonna remember. It's clear that Nessa isn't really versed in dancehall culture, Jamaican culture, so she really don't know who Skillibeng is. But for people like who like ripping on her, I don't really think it's fair. Well, Johnny Wonder comment too. I'm just like, come on, Johnny. You know, he could have literally just say, oh, this fuck up still, you know, but I'm sure he could have understood. He could have understand. You're right that there's something there, but I think we could extend her just a little grace.
I probably is a personal thing with him. Maybe it's something him being meaning to get off him chest, but maybe it's prior experiences
and
that
maybe
him
something
have
else. But in this specific moment, for this specific example, where we're using the Nessa interview that she recently did, I don't really think that we should be so hard on her.
I mean,
if it happen again, then
yeah, of course, he has all right for feel how him feel, you know? Even though him kind of go wild with it to the bag of comment and them thing, but him have all right for feel how him feel.
True.
Because, you know, him know the people who put the work behind making the rhythm what it is to make it reach where it reach right now. So him have all right for feel upset that, or feel slighted that she didn't mention Skillibeng East Side or the producer, nothing like that. If you just mention just Skillibeng would have been fine for him, but it just seemed like she's taking the praise for it or giving the praise to Nicki Minaj, which is egregious. Very egregious. It's egregious.
But as I said, a little grace could be extended.
I agree.
Just a little.
I agree.
Because, maybe not. And what Shenseea could do as a way to really make things right on her mega platform now that she's her growing platform, she can just say, she can own up to it, apologize and say, I am so sorry. Skillibeng and the East Side team, thank you so much. I phone redeem and it's an honor to be on it and it was a joy to be on it.
I would be easy because we say she ready to defend the alien thing and say, oh, I didn't pay her anything, even though nobody never really did take that seriously. But like this people take seriously and take as a serious slight to the youth. So would that be an easy thing if you've put out a story or a story video or even a little post on your feed and say, oh, no disrespect, boom bang, simple fix.
You're right.
You take the time out to correct that simple something there. With the alien thing, she can do it here. I agree with you.
She could. All right. So Instagram shadow bans. Spragga Benz and censors Buju Banton. So it seems Spragga Benz and Buju Banton have fallen under Instagram censorship radar. Spragga Benz recently revealed that he had been shadow banned by Instagram, which had made his page invisible to non-followers and rendered him untaggable by other pages. Spragga, who has 223,000 followers, shared a screenshot of one follower attempting in vain to tag him during Buju Banton's Independence live feed as evidence that the social media platform is restricting his reach. Also this week, Buju Banton made a post with the logos of the World Health Organization, the Johns Hopkins University, and the World Economic Forum and was flagged as false information by Instagram. The post, which was captioned in plain sight, was ridiculed by some of his 1.3 million followers, but was endorsed by Spragga, who said, Omega at the end, huh? Them a play God games, but them are not God. Hashtag Alpha and Omega. After getting wind that the post was flagged as false, Buju again posted sarcastically, why wouldn't it be fake? Johns Hopkins University info is fake, or we're catching up too quick. What do we make of this? Well, I've made a conscious effort and a conscious decision for people who I think are spewing what I believe to be conspiracy theories. I made a conscious effort to unfollow them. So I is pretty much doing this why I'm like getting caught up with these shadow ban. But Instagram, I'm seeing that they're doing an effort. Like if you mention anything regarding COVID, there's something that comes up at the bottom of the screen that says, like,
why?
Check. Can we be serious? Can we be serious?
We can be. What it have said?
All right. At the
base.
The base.
The base. You know what I mean?
At the bottom of the post, that says, like, if you want to read up on it or here's proper information, like they try to bring it to credible sources and fact check your posts. So they're trying to do a concerted effort to make sure that good information, true information, is going out to the public because they're trying to really curb the spread of this pandemic. Now, we talk about this ad nauseum now on the podcast, probably here to like nobody really knows what's happening, and I think like the false information is so confusing. And maybe there's some truth to what Buju is saying, maybe there's some truth to what Spragga is saying, but ultimately, like, you have to really check where them I get them sources from. Like, is it from actual doctors, or is like some YouTube person and come up and it's just like this man living a hole and him just said this and that. Like, you have to be really careful of where you get your sources from, and where you get your sources from, how you spreading it to your 223,000 followers plus 1.3 million followers. And I don't really have much to say other than Instagram I try them best for curb the spread of false information, of misinformation, of disinformation. And if you don't think that the platform is for you, then you have every right to get off the platform, as is their right to censor what they believe is damaging information.
I agree with you, Ariane, and I want to make this point clear with myself personally. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I'm on the fence about vaccines. With the stature of people like Buju Banton and Spragga out there spreading information or misinformation, we have to be careful. Even when Buju Banton mentioned in I'm live that, you know, the research and he's imploring people to do research. You have to question where he get his research from, especially when the post where you put up, it looked like it was made on Windows 95 Word. Like these are the things that I have to question. Like where are you doing your research? And when you go post things like that now, it more lean into the side of conspiracy theory than to actually put forth
a converging view that makes sense, right?
Thank you, Ari. Or something that we properly question things, or properly, you know, challenge things out there. So when you go put out a picture that you just have a bag of logo pan and just it's like, so you can see, so it's just so easy to spread misinformation. No,
it's like a schizophrenic board. Like, who killed John F. Kennedy? I'm sorry.
I find these runs entertaining. I do. I know to pick sense from nonsense out of them. But again, when misinformation, because we're in the age of misinformation, so it's easier to spread misinformation than proper research things. And if they put out, like, say, an article or link to articles that ask questions like, yo, what are the side effects of mRNA? Like, are they leaky? What is the data to determine how leaky they are? What percentage of vaccinated people have spread COVID so far? What are the percentage of unvaccinated that spread COVID? Could a variant evolve in vaccinated people versus unvaccinated people? Like things like that. What question them thing? You see me? Put out links to these things, like links to articles that have them type of statistics there. But no, what we see is put out conspiracy theories, really, that feed into
your
people's fears and your confirmation bias. I'd like for them to do better. That's it.
True. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It gets to the point where it's just frustrating, and you realize, like, we'll never get out of it. And I just wanted to bring up a point. I recently saw an article, I never finished reading it, about a man killed his son. He was a QAnon follower because he thought that his son had demons, and he was afraid that the son would have grown up to be a monster. These are QAnon people believe that Oprah Winfrey and Tom Hanks drink the blood of children. Like you see, like you say, it's so easy to.
And we all know that's true.
But you see how easy it is to devolve and to just go down the rabbit hole, and then you never know where it can lead and what the consequences of these uninformed people leading you. Like, you never know. So all I'm saying is, you're right now, like, of course no one is saying that you shouldn't question things, and you know, if you live in the world and you have every right to question.
No, because I question things.
But we need to be careful of what we're doing, especially, as you rightly said, people like Spragga and Buju have a massive following. They have to make sure that they're giving out information that is worth its grain of salt, because you know what is unfair, and it's just like I don't have a problem believing the scientists and even government officials, and I don't even have a problem taking the vaccine. Is a dark joke that I'm about to make, that when 20 years from now I say, did you take the answer, like, you can be compensated. I'm hoping that I can be compensated
if things go wrong.
Because the point me I try to make is, you know what, you guys don't be the fall guys. Allow the scientists and the doctors who supposed to do the work of researching and doing what they're supposed to do. At least you can hold them accountable. If shit go wrong, if we come to you, you're not gonna be held accountable. You can always say, well, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, you know. And that is where the problem come in.
And even the post itself, with the variant names and Spragga playing into the alpha and omega thing. If they just did research,
Just one Google search.
just one Google search, and that shows
I mean,
how
you got
these
to
things
take
are
side of
named and the
Google.
naming conventions of the variants,
Yeah.
because the variants them emerge in several geographical locations, and they are try run from naming it after those
Yeah.
geographical locations, because they want try avoid stigmatizing
Right.
people from those
Yeah,
regions, because
racism.
that usually happen.
Mm-hmm.
So them decide say, yo, what got Greek letters?
Just like with the hurricane, when they name it
Just
after
like with
random
hurricanes.
names, and when they come off
So
as
them
these-
basically say, yo, Greek letters, they don't know, so the Greek letters they're listed, right, in a certain
yeah.
order.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know the order they already says. So them say, yo, if this come out after this variant, so we're gonna name it that. It's not a planned thing that say, we'll have this and we're gonna release it that time and we don't have the name. No.
You know what's so frustrating about this? People think that you're a sheep.
But I'm a person who question things as well. I'm openly question and pontificate on things. And yes, sometimes we'll make joke about certain things, and maybe people will say, yo, that is misinformation. I'm never claimed to be a great purveyor of knowledge like that, you know, like people Buju, you know, like he's some messiah and he's some great thought leader. Not to say that he can't be, but I people like Buju for what he is. He's an entertainer. Not to say him can't think deeply about things and pass on, you know, knowledge about things. Because I'm sure it takes a deep thinker to even create the type of songs that he creates. But me not see him as a great thought leader.
I mean, the thing is, not even thought leader. He's not a scientist. And I think that's what people just need to acknowledge. These entertainers,
He's shown himself not to be a
they're
good
not-
researcher, a good poster of data.
They're not scientists. They're not. And if you ever do a term paper, you have to cite your sources. If they can't cite their sources,
And even when you say
it
things like that,
incredible.
I like to bring up the point that even scientists can be wrong, you know,
Of
but I can
course.
see why people trust science and data over the words of people who are posting things made from Windows 95 in 2021. You know, make the argument easy for the anti-vaxxers out there. It does not.
Yeah. Sound dia bang. So as per the Observer, Maroon chief Richard Curry says armed men trespassed on Maroon lands in the QUIK country on Tuesday with the intention of extorting Maroon farmers for money or threatening to burn and take their crops. Ooh. So Curry posted a video on Instagram of an altercation between Maroons and a man holding a high-powered rifle. He shared, "While we are still waiting to verify if these are actual active police officers that were on duty extorting Maroon farmers for money or threatening to burn and take their crops. Several other men armed with rifles could be seen as the Maroons continued to argue with them, while the sound of drums and the abeng could be heard playing loudly during the standoff." In a post accompanying the video, Curry stated, "As chief, I maintain control over the crowds of Maroons who engaged to defend their land. The sound of the abeng was heard for miles, which called all warriors to immediately come to defend their land and their chief. Our government continues to demand answers and accountability for this gross disrespect and violation of Maroon territorial jurisdiction. You never point a weapon at #Maroon and expect it to go silent. Sound the abeng," he continued. So what are your thoughts now?
I respect Chief Curry for standing up for his people and for his rights. And for Minister Chang to say what he said, I could see why them take great offense to that and why people are up in arms about that, because even me, with my limited knowledge of Maroon culture, I do have some knowledge because I've been to a Maroon town. I know that there's a Maroon town. I know that them own land. They have towns. So me with my limited knowledge knows that them have land. So for you as a minister to say that no, it's egregious. Like that I heard the other day. It's egregious for you to say that. And I can see why they're offended. And him use the opportunity for serve to remind him that say, yo, treaty go on with whoever the treaty go on, the British High Commission, whoever, and that they own land. Just to make that clear. And again, I respect them for standing up for his rights. He's a respectable individual. It seems like I look like him don't stand for foolishness, and I can respect that.
Well, I'm gonna say it again. I said it on the podcast when him did. He's the hot guy in town. I don't get it.
I
don't get it. I don't get how you be a state in a state. It's all confusing to me. But you are right. Where Minister Chang, I was like, come on, Minister Chang,
like
come on,
you're
like
dismissing their culture.
Yeah, that's so reductive of the Maroon and their culture and their people. Like, come on. So I think there obviously something happened, and I mean, look like this isn't the first. I'm assuming this isn't the first, but this is the first time it's being caught on video, and I guess that is all credit to Richard Curry, who is showing himself to be a modern progressive leader of the Maroons and bringing technology. As I said, I've always been confused, like how you can have a state in a state, but Dr. Chang's statement was obviously very egregious, and them probably won't correct that. Maybe him not gonna apologize, but just correct it, because we all know, just from the limited research that we've all done, or information that we have, thanks to high school social study class, there is a Maroon town. They're governing their own state. But my confusion is like how you govern state within a state. Like, the board is there. How would the police even know the boundaries, the borders? Like, I probably even wonder, probably me I go up on a tour of the cockpit, and I probably got in at them land, and I'm like, wait, no, I don't have my passport.
But it seemed like with this,
I don't know.
It seemed with this particular incident, it seemed like
something
the
that's
subject
recurring.
that probably with JCF, and I'm not reporting this, but it seemed like there seemed to be some sweeping of, like, under the rug of even the JCF element. So it's not just, according to reports, allegedly, it's not just some random brother, but it just did that on Maroon land and then just threatened and said, come out. Apparently it was the JCF that is being sent there, that's been sent there for burn crops and commit all manner of fuckery, and them are defend their land and their rights. Right? That is what is being said out there.
According to the Maroons.
According to Maroons, or according to reports. It seems like there's a concerted effort by the media to sweep that little tidbit of information under the rug.
Well, this is all confusing, but I mean, as Richard Curry is proving himself to be a modern progressive leader, and I guess his whole governance is about trying to bring forward the issues that I think that has been plaguing the Maroon sovereignty, and bring it to the forefront. So I don't know if it's that they want us to know, because they don't, like, why would you want us to know? You want us to help you? Like, you want us to care? Like, I think his issue is that he'd like people to be more aware of Maroon people and their culture and their privileges and things like that. Like, even we display like common obliviousness to certain things that I'm sure. And I mean, him probably gonna look at it, and because I guess, can we say, for full disclosure, we've asked for Mr. Curry to come on the show to enlighten us, but I don't know if he's flat out refused, but he's not been on the show.
He's flat out refused.
So clearly, there's a sort of dismissal there, because I truly don't get it, and it's a state within a state, but how do you operate? How do we operate? Is it that you want us to be friendly neighbors? Like, the JCF, what are some of the atrocities I'm sure that you think that the state is imposing on you and your people? Like, what do you expect of us as regular citizens? Like, what do you want from us? I mean, I'm certain more than just awareness, because you're literally I'm a Jamaican, I'm not a Maroon, but your country's in Jamaica. I don't think I'm
well, these are other issues we'd definitely like to talk to him about, because as we pointed out, that is one thing for do research or to read up, but where do you find the proper readings on Maroon culture? Because even though there I'm sure there are certain articles and things out there that people could look at online for know things about Maroons, but I find it better if I actually talk to them and sit down and look them in the eye and get to know them and hear from one of them about their culture. It's a similar feeling I felt when I went to a compound.
Because you have a preconceived notion, like you just think that they're stagnated in one thing, like one even probably era, epoch. Like, do they have certain things that what we think is normal, or what we think is readily accessible and available, but because they've made themselves a state, like what are some of the things that they have they don't have, just things like that. I really, really, really want to know.
I'm sure I've learned these things before, I just forget. But I'd like to know more. I'd like to build upon knowledge either I lose or knowledge that I already have. I'd like that.
And I mean, we've said it, and I don't think we have any shame to say that we're ignorant to Maroon culture.
We're oblivious to certain things about the culture.
Yeah, so we hope to learn more.
But I know them own land. I know that much.
We know that much.
Yo, one of our national hero is a Maroon. So for Mr. Chang said that for real, yeah, him for know better.
All right, so that does it for our stupid talk on Maroon culture. Stupid questions that Nern Ari asks about Maroon culture. And that does it for Quick Fix. So guys, thank you for watching. If you like what we had to say, please tell us below. If you don't like it, keep it to yourself. Share it. Subscribe. We out.
If you don't like it, you can't say it. Right, listen.